Be still.
Tokozani Sobona, greetings and peace. Welcome back. I'm Gogo Thule Ngane. I am here with a video speaking and sharing about different meditation styles to try based on your sun sign, your elemental sign. And basically on the spiritual journey, sometimes it can be difficult. There's just so many practices, there's so many tools, and it can be difficult to help navigate, well, which tool do I try, what makes sense, what works. And one way that I have found that is helpful to navigate the path is to pay attention to yourself, to get an understanding of that knowledge of self, and to see through the elements what is appropriate for you or what is most aligned for your journey. In the ancient traditions, in the ancestral past, it was very common to pay attention to the energies the day a child was born. Not only the energies of the stars, but even looking at how the umbilical cord was wrapped around the child, and all of these little physical and spiritual signs to get an understanding of who you are and the meaning for not only yourself, but for the community at large. And so last year I did a few years ago, I did an audio series about aligning with your ancestral guardians. And one of the things that I spoke about was soul seeking and understanding yourself, paying attention to how your intuition speaks to you and understanding your element. And a brother asked me the other day, well, what style of meditation would be most helpful for me based on my elemental sign? And so today I want to just make some suggestions, share some meditation styles that fit each particular sign and why, and the understanding behind that, hopefully to help you develop and grow on your spiritual journey. All right, so we're going to start off with air signs because that is the one that I'm most familiar with. Air signs are people who are Geminis, Libras, or Aquarius as their sun sign. And us air signs tend to be very intellectual. We are the kings and queens of overthinking. We are highly curious people, and we really like to know. We really like to understand. We could be the philosophers of our society. And because of that, the mind and the crown chakra is a very big thing for us. How we interact with our crown chakra is very useful. And because of all of this mind stuff, crown chakra stuff, we tend to be very telepathic without even knowing that we are, because we can think a number of things and not even recognize when our intuition or our guides are speaking to us, because we've gone through so many journeys in our mind that it's hard to differentiate what thought is coming from what direction. And so the styles of meditation that are really helpful for air signs, I will mention about 3. 1, everyone can benefit from just sitting and breathing and focusing on your breath, letting your thoughts come to your mind and then consciously letting them go, just clearing, and not being attached to anything that's coming to you. This is going to be the most difficult for air signs because we're waiting for the knowing, we're waiting for something to happen. Yes. And so one of the styles of meditations that are really helpful for us is mantra meditations. Mantras involve repeating different chants and words and invocations over and over again. I highly recommend choosing a mantra, whether it's a yogic mantra or even if you still work with things, sacred books like the Bible or the Quran or the Bhagavad Gita, you can choose a verse in any of those books and repeat them. However, I highly recommend doing a mantra in a language that you're not familiar with and that you do not speak, because again, as air signs, we need to let go of understanding something, allowing the mantras to just take us out of our mind. And once you start to get into the flow of meditation and you've cleared some of your thoughts, then you want to actually witness your thoughts. You want to just notice what is coming to your mind, because one thing about air signs is that you don't want to just push all of your thoughts to the side like meditation tends to suggest. You want to start to begin to notice what types of thoughts come to your mind when you're meditating, because you're going to be someone that receives a lot of inspiration. receives a lot of creativity, receives a lot of ideas. And so you don't, though you want to practice meditation the regular way, you also want to get to a point where you're listening to your thoughts. Another style of meditation is any type of meditation that involves creative visualization. So these are guided meditations that take you on some type of journey, that allow you to imagine yourself being in a forest, or allow you to just go on some type of journey, or even chakra meditations where you're focusing on your root chakra, you're focusing on each one, and you're visualizing energy being cleared there. This is going to help give your mind something to do, something to focus on. It brings you more into your body and out of your head. And air signs are the most likely to think that they don't have visions, or that they don't see clear visions. That's what we think, because we're so in our head in terms of thoughts. But if you start to tune into the body and the sensations, and you heighten your sensations, you're going to feel more connected to the visualizations that are given in meditations. You have to train that part of your mental muscle that can hold a visualization in your mind. Okay? Yeah, so I think there was one more thing. Okay, breath work. Breath work is obviously beneficial to everybody, but for us air signs, we're directly working with our element. We're directly working with the air element. And one of the, deep breathing, different styles of breath work that, the Kundalini yogas teach, any type of breath work that allows you to start to move and shift your life force energy is going to allow your mind to focus very quickly and very accurately. So again, mantras, creative visualizations, and breath work really fit well with air signs. Up is water signs. Water signs, you all are Cancers, Scorpios, Pisces, and water signs tend to be very emotional. They are the dreamers. Their senses are heightened. They feel and sense everything to the point where they sometimes experience their senses and their emotions being too much. They tend to be very psychic. They tend to be very caring and emotional beings, and also very passionate. And so working with the emotional waters, and we all have all of the elements within us. So I have experienced moments and periods of my life where I was very emotional, I was very watery. And I remember in the beginning when there were periods of time when I would meditate and I would sit and I would just cry, or I would just get very emotional, and I hated it because I'm like, meditation is supposed to be healing and relaxing, and I'm just feeling more and more uncomfortable as I'm sitting here. And so one of the things about emotional beings and the emotional aspects of ourselves is that it's very important for you to be willing to sit and breathe through your emotions until you no longer feel them. Because sometimes when we're meditating or we're doing spiritual activities and a lot of emotions come up, we want to push it to the side, or we want to get rid of it very quickly. And it's like, sometimes it's okay to just cry in your meditation and not cut yourself off until it has cleared on some level, until you are feeling some type of balance, or you feel like, now I'm not the emotional one, but my emotions have stepped outside of me and I can now observe them from a more focused or calm perspective. So a big thing about meditation for you all is letting your emotions take you for the ride until you can get off, right? Another aspect about just meditation styles for water signs, I would really look into meditations that focus on karma and karmic clearing and karmic lessons. Because when we're very emotional, it's because we're kind of stuck on a lesson. We're stuck on an experience that we have. We're stuck on how somebody is treating us or misunderstanding us. And so doing meditations around karma and affirmations to kind of help you move through the thoughts that torment you because of your emotions. You literally are, water signs are literally the ocean. They are literally the rivers. They are literally the waterfalls. And so movement is a big part of your expression and your connection with spirit. So moving meditations, whether it be yoga, whether it be ecstatic dance, and even just in Tantra, it's one of the practices that we tried was, listening to different sounds and music that we don't usually listen to, and allowing our bodies to move freely, not trying to follow the beat, not trying to do anything specific, but just letting yourself flow is a great way for those emotions to also wash and clean and express. And it's a great way for you to just feel connected to your body and allow those waters to flow. One more thing that I want to mention about water signs is that because I was talking about like the emotions and relationships and how you're relating with people, sometimes because you care so much about people and circumstances and situations, also a good meditation style to try are meditations of compassion. I've only heard this term used once in my journey, and these are called metta meditations, METTA. I'm sure there's other words probably to describe this, but these are meditations where the visualization is centered around visualizing the person that you're having a hard time with, or the person that you want to send love to. The person it's really about compassion. It's about feeling for somebody else. It's about, despite how you feel about that person, despite what's going on, you just want to spend a few minutes in meditation and expressing compassion, connecting with their heart, sending love to their heart, sending forgiveness to each other in the situation. I feel it will help you emotionally let go of and emotionally shift how you're feeling around a certain person. Okay, I hope that helps. All right, next up is fire signs. Fire signs are Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You all are very passionate, very energetic, and your excitement can literally dramatically change the energy in the room or the space that you're in. And that passion is really great, and it's very fiery, but just like fire, when it's overactive, it can burn and destroy everything. And let me tell you, my fire element is very much that way. But one of the things about fire elements is that you need to express a lot of your energy before you can even sit still and meditate. So you probably have the most resistance out of all the signs to sitting down and meditating. So it's very helpful for you to figure out a way to release and express your energy and then meditate. So for you, starting off with yoga, for example, would be helpful. Starting off with mindful walking, so just deciding to go on a walk, but doing it in a mindful way, being aware of your settings, not listening to any music, just walking, observing the trees, looking around, and practicing those mindfulness techniques. Even when you do yoga, it would be better for you to do yoga in silence, to just move your body or listen to the instructions and not have a whole bunch of activity, because the activity is the yoga, and you still want your mind to be able to experience some of those meditative benefits. Another exercise that would be really good for fire signs to try, I've done different variations of this, but basically the foundation is that you would start off just moving and jumping around, shaking off your energy, shaking your head, moving, just wildly moving your body for like 3 minutes, and then stopping and sitting down and just journaling and writing the first things that come to your mind for as long as you want to. And letting that be a form of meditation, because the creative energy will have that energy, will generate and also be released, and then your mind will be focused, and the first things that you write are going to be some of the inspiration and the meditative benefits for you. And then again, you can sit down and do any of the other styles of meditations that I've mentioned. The last thing that I will just say for fire signs is, because you're very active and energetic, you have to try a lot of different things, and in trying a lot of different things, you may just need to create your own way. To pay attention to what works, to pay attention to what resonates, and be very creative in the way that you do things. Not, you don't have to feel limited about meditation. Meditation can happen in so many different ways. So let your spirit and that passion fuel the creation of your own meditation. And last, we have the earth signs: Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. You all are very grounded, very practical, very organized, great leaders. You get things done, and you have all the pieces to the puzzle. And so my suggestion in terms of meditations for you are, one, styles of meditations that are very artistic or creative. When you think about like collages and painting and art, these are things that you don't usually gravitate towards, or you might not usually gravitate towards, but just using, certain elements to put things together in a creative way is going to help keep that personality about you flowing, and give you some time to just do something different out of what you usually do, which is being very organized. It's like a little break for you. I also recommend, because you all are very connected to the earth, is to try a style of meditation like plant meditations. Just the act of brewing a tea like peppermint or basil or whatever herb it is that you choose to use, and sitting with it, setting intentions with it, drinking it, and then sitting and focusing on your breath is something that's going to resonate a little bit more with you. And the last suggestion that I would make in terms of meditation styles is any style of meditation that allows you to just focus on one thing. You're always aware of all of these different pieces and moving puzzles, and it's like meditation for you focusing on one word, on one sound, on one chakra. Just focusing on one thing is going to help you feel more grounded and not feel like you have to understand every single thing all at once. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that you got something from this. We all have all of the elements within us, so all of these styles of meditations are worth exploring, especially when you feel like one aspect of your element is more active in this moment in your life. And the last thing that I can say about all of the signs is that you can use the actual elements in your meditations. So you can just meditate with a bowl of water. You can meditate with incense if you're an air sign. Incense and essential oils, the act of breathing those things in contacts and communicates directly with your crown chakra. So if you're an earth sign, spending more time meditating in nature. If you're a fire sign, using a candle and candle fire gazing can be something that you incorporate into your meditations. So I hope that this video was helpful for you. If it resonated with you, let me know. If there's something in this video that you feel somebody else needs to hear, please feel free to share it. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you in the next video. Tokoza.